All right, so we're gonna look at our rational root theorem. Okay, so rational basically sounds fraction, root, talking about roots. Now this is going to be pretty simple, rational root theorem. Now here under my instruction says find all zeros for each function. However, on your homework, I'm going to ask you to list the possible rational zeros for each function. So let me change my instructions here. Let me make it fit your homework. On your homework, I'm going to ask you to list the possible rational again is fraction, rational zeros for each function. And now it sounds like mumbo jumbo. In a little, you guys will be like, oh, that's not too bad. So is the possible rational zeros for each function. I do expect a list then. Now, here, I'm going to look at the factors of my first number, my leading coefficient. The factors of 2 are 1 and 2, right? 1 times 2. Remember, factors are the numbers that I can multiply to get to a product. So 2 is my only factor, 1 and 2. Then I'm going to look at my factors of my last number. I'm ignoring the sign, okay? I'm just looking at the number. My factors of 1 is just 1, right? I can write 1 and 1, but it's just the same number, okay? So now what I'm going to do, my possible zeros, my possible rational zeros, I'm going to use each factor from this last number. Right now it's only one number, but you guys are going to see sometimes it's more than one number. I'm going to make fractions in that those factors at the very end come on the top. I'm going to write 1 over 1 plus or minus, and then plus or minus 1 over 2. Notice how the 1, this 1, I put it over my other factor. So 1 over 1, and then 1 over 2. Now, 1 over 1 basically can be simplified to just 1, right? The fraction 1 over 1 is just 1. And then 1/2 is just 1/2. So those are going to be my possible rational zeros. 1, -1, 1/2, -1/2. Now we learned yesterday we talked about the roots, right? We work finding the roots. We could find them, but I'm just asking for the homework today. I'm just asking, what are the possible solutions? What are the possible rational zeros? That's it. This is going to be my answer. All right, let's take a look at question number 26. My factors of my first number. Factors of 2 are 1 and 2. My factors of the last number are 1 and 5. Again, what numbers multiply will give me 2? What numbers multiply will give me 5? So my possible solutions, let me use this 1 first. So I'm going to go 1 over 1 and plus or minus 1 over 2. Okay. Notice my 1, the one that I'm using, put it on top of the fraction. Now let me use this 5. My other solutions are going to be plus or minus 5 over 1, plus or minus 5 over 2. Okay. Now, basically, plus or minus 1, right? Plus or minus 1/2, plus or minus 5, because 5 over 1 is just 5, plus or minus 5 over 2. So now let me list them all. I'm going to write 1, -1. Oh, let me just type the fraction the way you guys will. Let me write the fraction the way you guys will type it. Positive 1/2, -1/2. Positive 5, -5. positive 5 over 2, negative 5 over 2. Cool. Let's take a look at number 27. Let's take a look. The factors of 1. Well, just 1, right? The factors of 40. Ooh, okay. I can go 1 times 40. I'm going to do a big list here. I could go 2 times 20. 3, I cannot go. But I can go 4 times 10. And I can go 5 times 8. Whoa, so 40 has a lot of factors. So my factors are gonna, let me use this 1 first. Cool thing is that my first one is just a 1, so everything's gonna be over 1. So my possible factors are 1 over 1, or plus or minus. Let me use this 2 now. Plus or minus 2 over 1. Now let me use this 4. Plus or minus 4 over 1. I'm putting it all over 1 because that's my only factor here. The next one, plus or minus 5 over 1, plus or minus 8 over 1, plus or minus 10 over 1, because I did this, plus or minus 20 over 1, and plus or minus 40 over 1. Okay, now I think we can agree that none of them are going to be a fraction, right? Because they're all over 1. So let me just write my solutions. Positive 1, negative 1. Positive 2, negative 2. Positive 4, negative 4. Positive 5, negative 5. Positive 8, negative 8. Positive 10, negative 10. Positive 20, negative 20. Positive 40, negative 40. Those are all my possible rational zeros. One of these, up to 3, will work. Let's take a look at number 28 now. My factors of 2 are just 1 times 2, right? And my factors of 1 is just a 1. I'm not going to write 1 times 1. It's the same number. So my possible rational zeros are, let me use this 1. So I'm going to do 1 over 1 plus or minus 1 over 2. So my answer is 1, negative 1, positive 1/2, negative 1/2. That's it. That's all we're doing for today. So this is what I mean with the possible rational zeros for each function.